Hello friends, so we're back with part 2 of chapter 6, which is discoveries, inventions, and changes. So let's get on with it. Mainstream medical treatment will become holistic. Treatment will involve the whole being of a human mind, body, and spirit, as well as environmental factors. Natural remedies will become the primary source of healing. Using modalities such as herbs, tinctures, living foods, meditation, breath work, movement of the body, as well as working with the energetic fields of the mind and body that will be taught and prescribed by practitioners. I saw medical centers conducting classes and teaching patients how to heal themselves with their own mind and energy. The average lifespan will extend immensely. Humans will live well into their hundreds, and they will be healthy, vibrant, and active. They won't look like their chronological age. They will look much younger and live robust lives. Perhaps it will have something to do with the cure of obesity, or perhaps the combination of mainstream holistic medical treatment and the cure of obesity. I don't know. But it seems reasonable to me to think that. The internet will change drastically. It will become nothing like how we experience it today. We experience the internet in a way that, from what I received in the vision, could be referred to as flat. Everything that we do with the internet now is a one-sided personal interaction, meaning that as we interact with the internet, we are the ones who are receiving the data, knowledge, and entertainment. That is, aside from the privacy breaches that occur. Of course, we utilize telecommunication through video calls for the purpose of meetings, doctor appointments, friendships, family interactions, entertainment, etc. But it is still a flat experience. This is the word that I keep receiving that describes the current internet experience. Flat. I was shown that the internet will go down, become unavailable for a brief period. I wasn't shown exactly how long, but it didn't appear to be long-lasting. It won't occur because of hackers or glitches in the system, or because of weather conditions causing power outages. It will be a deliberate act with a specific purpose. This portion of the vision is one of those areas I have difficulty putting into words exactly what I saw because it was so different than what we know today. The best way to describe it would be to say that the internet, which will no longer be called the internet, but defined by a different term, will be multidimensional in every way imaginable. There will be nothing flat about it anymore. There won't be various domains anymore such as .com, .org, .net, .info, etc. There will only be one domain, which I am not even sure if the term domain will be relevant anymore, but it will be referred to as .one, and that's .one. I can't even begin to explain the mechanics of how it will all work because I have absolutely no idea. It's not in my consciousness to be able to relate it properly. It actually reminds me of a vision I had in 1985. I was lying in bed one evening and I had a vision of these very large spiders that were metal. They were able to fly, and they would hover above the housetops, and they had the ability to see everything and to hear everything that was said. But little did I know at the time of that vision that in the 1990s, which was 5 years plus later, drones would be introduced to the public for commercial and personal use, and guess what? They look like metal spiders that have camera lens that allow you to see whatever the drone is guided to go. I don't know if they have the ability to record sound. I don't own a drone. But I can tell you that if they currently are not able to record sounds, they will at some point. And commentary here, I would imagine they record sounds now. I still don't own a drone, but I would imagine they do record sounds. We have to remember this book was written in 2019, so a lot of things have changed since then. Okay, back to the book. My point in sharing this story with you is that just like the vision of the metal spiders, I could only describe what I knew to describe by what I could see and perceive at that moment. I didn't know the intricate details that these metal spiders would be controlled by a remote control handheld device, or that they would come in different shapes, sizes, and colors, or that they would be called drones. As stated in an earlier chapter, in a vision, you are usually given the broader perspective and not always the intricate details unless it is very significant to know. I don't have all the intricate details of this new form of internet that will emerge, but I saw all of it in action, working harmoniously and brilliantly. I saw that it was as different as night and day compared to what we know the internet to be now. I love technology and my Apple products, but I am not tech savvy at all, and that is true. So my description of it is so rudimentary and truly does not do any justice to the reality of it and the mechanics of it. But I can say that we are going to be utterly amazed by the multiplicity and simplicity of it at the same time. And this is commentary again. Since 2019, we have seen AI, artificial intelligence, emerge. And it is very much a part of the internet, very much a part of almost everything that we experience today. So that is definitely a step in the direction of what I saw in that vision. So it has already begun to emerge. That we're going from that flat experience to a more interactive experience. And it's just going to grow from there. I mean, what I saw was so beyond AI, but we are definitely headed in that direction. Okay, back to the book. Countries will no longer be considered as countries with their own set of distinct governmental laws and rulers. Countries will become as states or territories, as being different parts of the whole earth, not as being divided regions by borders that create division between people and places. Each state or territory, for lack of the proper term that will be used in the new earth, will have its own appointed governmental officials that will watch over their state or territory, but there will be one government that will include many representatives that will oversee all. You will no longer require a passport to travel to a different state or territory. Some sort of identification will be required, perhaps a driver's license or birth certificate. I wasn't shown the exact details of the requirement, but it appeared to be a simple process of scanning some sort of identification of each person. To permanently migrate to a new state or territory will require additional information and forms, but still a simple and relatively quick process. Humans will become a citizen of Earth rather than a citizen of a country. Science and spirituality will meld together and release the rigid boundaries between them. Spirituality already knows that science is within all things, and science is beginning to understand that spirituality, divinity, is within all things. It will continue to expand its understanding of this in its entirety. until no boundaries exist between them. At that point, science will really begin to blast the doors open to what is beyond the physical senses, beyond the reality we think we're living in, and beyond the capabilities of what we think we can and cannot do. There are so many more astonishing discoveries, inventions, and changes that will materialize and integrate within the human experience, but this was the glimpse of what I was given into some of these miraculous transformations that are to come. So, commentary again. We have already begun to see some of these changes, as discussed, the AI and the internet. We are already beginning to see holistic modalities being accepted by medical practitioners and being utilized in hospitals, such as, using Reiki on children and adults in hospitals. This is already beginning to happen. So we are already moving in that direction. We are nowhere near the finished product, but we are definitely moving in the direction of all these things that I did see. So it's good to see there's movement. It's good to see that humanity is progressing towards these things. So I just wanted to share that with you. And this concludes Chapter 6 and this video. I'm sending you much love, much light, and a lot of activation energy.